Welcome back, my YouTube fam. For those of you new here, my name is Omar Pineda, your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and we are back in the city of Leander, Texas, in a community called Bar W Ranch, and the builder we're looking at is D.R. Horton. Now, Bar W Ranch is probably D.R. Horton's best-selling communities because it's prime location. It's 15 minutes away from everything. Now, this two-story, if you want the primary and the secondary on the first floor, you're gonna check that box. It's one of my favorite things because a lot of buyers ask me for that as part of their criteria. On top of that, like you would find in any two-story, is a game room that almost acts like a second living space. Now here is this floor plan we're looking at is called the Rosemont. It starts in the high 400s at 474,990, and it's 5 beds, 3 baths, a little over 2,700 square feet. Has a 2-car garage, and it's a 2-story, again, with that primary and secondary bedroom that would be ideal for your guests or for the grandparents that maybe can't take the stairs. That would be perfect for that. Now, you'll notice here in the kitchen, there isn't a refrigerator, but D.R. Horton is offering a home appliance package as one of their incentives if you purchase with them. So that's definitely something we can ask for. Here's a nice kitchen island. Now, the dining room and the living room is a kind of like a combined space. It's not very much separated by anything, so it's just this one huge open concept living space. Now, that could be a hit or miss for some of my buyers. Some buyers like to see that kind of breakfast nook kind of separated from the living room. So there are floor plans that have that, but this one wouldn't check that box, but it does have that primary and, again, that secondary on the first floor. Now we're going to be walking towards the back end of the home that has a primary bedroom. Now, I always like to point out these light switches because D.R. Horton, I think this is like one of the little small details that makes D.R. Horton kind of go above and beyond. And I always like to have the sales rep explain that. It's a very just more modern switch, and it's very easy to interchange if you want to upgrade it to one of those dimmer switches. Now, let's see here now. So the primary bedroom is very, very spacious. Note that there's not a ceiling fan, but that's kind of a hit or miss depending on the community and depending on the builders. Sometimes they have a ceiling fan, sometimes they do not. But rest assured, if it does not come with it, it at least comes pre-wired with one. So if you want to do that yourself, you certainly can. Now, this master bath does not have a tub, but just has a nice walk-in shower, and it doesn't have. And that's like the linen closet with no door. That's kind of like something. If you ever walk into a D.R. Horton home, that's almost a D.R. Horton kind of look without the, especially for the bathrooms. They don't really have the doors, just the shelving, which I don't mind. I don't mind one bit. Now there is a walk-in closet as we go through the master bath. Pretty spacious. I think for this particular one, there was actually an extra kind of storage, like little hobbit little hole over here that connects to the walk-in closet, which is nice. Typically, underneath the staircase, they usually have that as an extra storage room, and usually it's like its own independent little door. But this time, they kind of connected it with the walk-in closet, which I'm not mad about. Okay. So as we finish looking at the master bedroom, then we're going to be making our way towards the very front half of the house where we can see that secondary bedroom that has a nice ensuite bathroom. So that would be perfect for guests. Or if you maybe want to make it a home office, I know a lot of buyers like to make the very front bedroom a home office because they like to see out into the street. That's something you could definitely do here too. It's a little bit on the smaller side, but you can, I think, very comfortably fit a full bed, maybe even a queen. It just depends on what kind of furniture you're going to have as far as end tables. But you can always make it work with one end table and I think a light. It will look beautiful. Here's your standard size closet, not a walk-in, but a standard size closet. And then we're going to look to our immediate left and see that nice full bathroom with the shower tub combo. Again, a big draw to this community, Bar W Ranch, is the area. In Leander, Texas, Leander, Texas has been growing rapidly since COVID, and since Leander and Liberty Hill, the school districts were rated in the toply rated schools, and there's just so much happening around the area that if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to share on my Google Maps exactly what's happening in the area when it comes to local development. Now here we're still on the first floor, and now walking into the laundry room. Now again, the washer and dryer is not there, but that's something that we can ask for, because right now we are definitely in a buyer's market here in the Austin area, and builders are being very generous with the incentives, and we can ask and see what we can get. Now notice there is no garage door opener. Again, that's something we can ask for. That was a tankless water heater, and right there, that device is the control panel for the sprinklers. This home does come with front and back irrigation sprinklers, and that's the control panel. And here's your tankless water heater. Again, there is a little bit of a step right there before you enter the home, so that could be also used as kind of like a storage. So if you're thinking about shelving, that would make a great space for that. So as we go upstairs, we're going to be walking into the game room, which is fantastic. That's what my buyers who are looking for a two-story, they love that game room or loft area because it serves as a second living space that could be great for, like, hey, upstairs we can live in it and make it as messy as we want, and downstairs it's the living room. We can not mess that up, so we're always ready for guests. That is, I think, the big draw for having a nice game room or second living space upstairs. Now, a little bit of facts about the community. The tax rate is 2.64. It's a little bit on the high side, but we can make it work because the incentives here and the pricing for the homes make up for that. Now, the HOA is $50 a month, but once you see the amenities, you're going to be like, wow, that's worth every penny. Natural gas community, Liberty Hill ISD. That's something to note because even though the address is in Leander, Texas, in the city, this community does belong to some schools in Liberty Hill ISD. And again, the financial incentives are fantastic. The DR Horton is offering incentives to help buy down that interest rate, pay for some of those closing costs, maybe pay for all of those closing costs, depending on how much help we need on the interest rate. And they're looking to throw in some home appliances, and we have a few more things we can ask for that we can talk during our consultation. Now, this community is, I would say, amenity rich. If you're looking for resort amenities, then this community is going to really check that box. Not to mention the surrounding area there's lots of green spaces and green belts, so it's very, very beautiful. This is a very beautiful part of Leander, Texas. I would even say it's in the hill country of Leander. I think that's a big draw to why this community is so popular, because not only are their homes great, but the immediate area is even better. So here we are. We are in one of the 3 bedrooms located upstairs, along with the upstairs having a 1 full bath. Now, I don't see what the dimensions are from the floor plan online, so that's something we would have to take a look when we're touring this together to see furniture wise. I know that's another thing my buyers really pay attention to, is the space, to see if their furniture that they have will fit in the new home. But that's something we can get down the line easily. So here's the full bath, the 1 full bath upstairs. The one thing I wish they would have done is maybe added that extra sink, but they just kept it at 1. And again, it's nice that they did separate the shower and the toilet from the sink area, so that almost 2 people could be using the bathroom, so it's not just 1. That is pretty nice. I like why they did that. Very functional. Now with DR Horton, they are a high production builder. All they do is build spec homes. They're not really a high customization builder. They just build to build. That's why they're the nation's #1 builder, because they sell and build a lot of homes. So they sell so many homes that they very, very much listen to their buyers and listen to the trends of what buyers want. And this floor plan speaks for itself by having the primary and secondary on the first floor, because that's exactly what a lot of buyers want. Now this is a very nice oversized covered back patio, and you're going to want one in Texas because it does get hot. So if you're entertaining, you definitely need to be under some shade. I love what they did with the rocks here. That's meant for drainage, because it does rain like cats and dogs out here when we're going through the seasons, and I think it's beautiful. You definitely want to be indoors when it's raining, because it can rain that hard, but it's also so beautiful if you're just sitting in the back there and just observing it all. Look at that. That would be your backyard. That's beautiful. And you notice how that wall is a little bit different from the wooden the fencing here, is because that's a part of the HOA wall. So that back wall, you wouldn't have any neighbors. That would be a street on the other side of that. So here we go. Check out these amenities. I was actually in another DR Horton community called Rosenbush Ranch in Leander, Texas. And when I saw the amenities there compared to this one here at Bar W Ranch, I was like, wow, I can see why I can see the huge draw to why people want to move here, because you have the pool, you have like that wet little playscape that's perfect for children because it's very shallow. You have this event center, so you can, if you want to have a party, I think you could rent that out and pay a fee, so you can definitely entertain and celebrate birthdays. You see the dog park on the bottom right. There's a full soccer field. You have a beach volleyball. You have a kids playground. I saw cornhole. I even see fire pits. I mean, this place has it all when it comes to amenities. And just look at the surrounding area. Nothing but green belts and green spaces. Beautiful, very beautiful. The drone really did it justice to really see how beautiful the lay of the land is. Now, if you stick to the very end here, there's this other community that popped up. You'll see it after this frame. But you can see here, they still have a lot more opportunities to buy homes. So if you're looking for a particular or a premium lot location, so like at the end of a cul-de-sac, maybe at the, you want to have no backyard neighbors, you definitely have opportunities to do so. Now you see those lakes or ponds. People sometimes think that you can. Those are retention ponds. So those are exactly made for drainage and for when we get heavy rains. And I think it just makes a beautiful aesthetic to the community as well, especially when it's surrounded by nothing but green trees and green belts. I think it really adds to the appeal of this community. Now here we go. We're gonna be checking out this, and I remember when I was flying my drone, I'm like, what is this community? Because I just saw dirt in the air, and I was like, and they're on the hill. I'm like, I wonder what the view looks like from over there. And let me go back and pause that for a second. So I actually did get a chance to explore this community. I believe it's called Palmera Ridge. Brand new community. There's 3 very high-end builders building here, and I did get a chance to fly my drone, and I did get a chance to tour a couple of the homes. So if you subscribe to my channel, I haven't recorded the videos for that yet, but that is coming soon, okay? And that way you won't miss out, because the views, we're talking about views that are of Leander, of Texas Hill Country, unobstructed. That was the word I was looking for. Unobstructed views of Leander. It's beautiful, beautiful. It definitely caught my eye. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen so you could see a little bit more of what's happening in the area. Let's make this bigger. Okay, so let's go to Bar W Ranch. Bar W Ranch by DR Horton. Okay, so here is Leander, Texas, and here's Bar W Ranch. It's just west of Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan is a huge road that goes north to south, kind of like 183. So if you're going south because you have to work either in the Domain area or downtown, that would be nice because you have immediate access to it from this neighborhood. But I will say this, it does make it a little bit tricky when you're leaving, because people do go very fast here. Because again, you can't see this because it's a 2D map, but this is very hilly. This is all hill country, so people go pretty fast here. So when you're leaving, you kind of have to peel out. But I believe there's 5 different ways to enter and exit this community, if I'm not mistaken, and if my memory serves from asking the sales rep, that if there's 5 ways to get out, you have options. Okay. But this one is the way I took, Bar W Ranch Boulevard, and it was a little tricky. So keep that in mind. It's something to kind of maybe get used to. But let's see here now. Okay, so check this out. What's happening in the immediate area? You're going to be very close to an HEB. That is a huge grocery store for those who are not from Texas watching this video. HEB is our grocery store here in Texas, and this is a brand new one too. This was, I would say, maybe barely even a few years old. So that's going to be very nice. And check this out. This is fairly recent. There's going to be a new Costco, Target, and 7-Eleven coming here soon, and that's going to be off Highway 29. Highway 29 will take you to Liberty Hill. So that's going to be within 50 minutes too. Now check this out. Leander has so much exciting things going on. On top of that, I'm going to show you Leander North Line. Where is that? It's going to be here. No. Hang on, I lost my place. Where's North Line? Okay, I think this might be it. Okay, here we go. Leander North Line. That's going to be Leander's new downtown. Leander North Line. That's going to be Leander's new downtown area, and that's from Bar W Ranch. So you can see it's not very far at all. Now, if you're familiar with the domain area, the same developers that made the domain what it is are the same developers building Leander Northline. So when it's all said and done, 'cause I think it's gonna be like a 10+ year project. It's gonna have plenty of shopping, fine dining, townhomes, condos, apartments, you name it, and it's gonna have a lot of stuff happening. A lot of exciting things, like a lot of third places, I would say, right? Let's see. Leander terminates. Oh yeah, Leander Springs is a project that everyone's still kind of hoping will happen because it was this huge water feature. Check out the picture. They ran into some issues, so it's kind of like TBD. No one kind of really knows what's going on. I believe it was like a water issue on why they ran into a lot of roadblocks, because they haven't even nothing's happened. It's just the developers still own the land, but they haven't, I think, broken ground or even gotten started with anything yet. So they just run into a lot of issues. But that's not to say that there's not so many other things happening in Leander. So the location is so prime. Oh, and let's see. I know the schools aren't too far off, but I'm going to say that maybe for another video, because we're kind of reaching the 16-minute mark here. So, hey, why should you work with me? Because I know there's a lot of people, a lot of real estate agents out there. So just know, that's another tour. Just know that I specialize in new construction. I keep a pulse in what's happening in the new construction space here in the Austin area. I am touring these communities on a weekly basis, connecting with all the salespeople. So I stay on top of the incentives, and I stay on top of the pricing, because as we are in a buyer's market, pricing is changing almost from week to week. Now, you have to also think about that and think of how you can work the incentives so you can get the best terms and the best deal in the community that you want, with the home that checks all the boxes. Okay, so a little bit of how I work is I want you to fall in love with that floor plan first, fall in love with the community next, and then we can figure out the incentives and get you into the home at a very competitive price and maximize all the builder's incentives, so you are not house poor, and we definitely stay in your comfort zone when it comes to your monthly mortgage payment. So I do all that and more, and I do a lot of video. I like to work with my clients, and I'm a very visual person myself too. So a lot of my steps about the process, explanations, I do through video. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from my clients that they love the video. They love like the personal touch of the video, because I have a separate YouTube channel just for them. That way, everyone stays on the same page. And again, through video with the images in the background where I'm sharing my screen, it just makes it that much more easier for people to digest all this information. So you get all that and more with me. So I'll have all my information linked in the description, so you can call or text me. I would love to schedule a discovery call. Say your situation is maybe a little bit more complex, or it's a very long text and it's just easier just to connect face to face. We can do that virtually. I love doing discovery calls to really dive deep and really figure out your situation, because hey, I have a team of people that I work with when it comes to credit repair, mortgage financing, all that, you name it. And if I don't, I'll figure it out and find somebody, because that's just the way I operate. Okay, and we'll figure it out together. All right, so I'm going to wrap things up for this video. Thanks for watching. My name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin Realtor with eXp Realty, and I'll catch you in the next one.